I want to talk a little bit about prosecution. I think the bill that we're talking about is just civil penalties, and as an old prosecutor, I believe in the deterrent effect of the potential of jail time, especially for people who are committing a crime that is just making them money. And at the end of the day, what's motivating people to use bots is just money. They're making a lot of money. In fact, they are stealing money from legitimate customers who want to buy tickets to events. And since we started this hearing with a quote from Hamilton, I will quote the king and say, and when push comes to shove, I will send a fully armed battalion to remind you of my love. And it seems to me a fully armed battalion in this case is one that would include the threat of criminal prosecution. Are any of you aware of any criminal prosecution that has occurred in any of the 13 states that have laws that could go after bots?
So, to my understanding, Senator, there are no states until New York in June changed their law to criminalize the use of bots, and so there have been no prosecutions yet in New York. We are working with the New York Attorney General, and as I know many others in the industry are, to see if there are some that actually can be criminally prosecuted. I agree with you. I actually think that criminal prosecution is the easiest and most effective way to do it. We'll see it at the state level, and then there's a question as to whether it's appropriate at the federal level. And in the other 12 states, I know of no cases that are current or past, but I can't state unequivocally that they're not criminal provisions.
Are you aware of any model legislation that has been drafted for states? Since I do have a hard time imagining that U.S. attorneys' offices are going to prioritize prosecuting bots because knowing the nature of where crime is prosecuted in this country, typically crimes like that are not prosecuted at the federal level. They're more likely prosecuted at the state level. Are you aware if any model state legislation has been drafted that might assist states in putting these laws on their books?
So I do know there has been model legislation drafted. We've participated in drafting model legislation, both specifically narrowly limited to bots and a more broader examination of the ticket industry. So we have both forms of model legislation.
So I don't mean to pick on someone who's not here, but let's talk about the ticket services that are making money coming and going. See if I have this right. Live Nation owns Ticketmaster, correct?
Yes.
And they also own Ticket Now, correct?
They do.
So someone can use a bot and buy a large inventory of tickets to a concert, and then they can turn around and place those tickets for sale on Ticket Now, correct?
Yes, and in all fairness, they could place them for sale on our platform as well as other competitors.
I was trying to pick on somebody who wasn't here.
I appreciate it.
So Live Nation is making money coming and going, correct? They're making money, they're making the fees on the first sale, and then they're turning around and making a fee on the second sale also.
That is true.
So why can't you all put in something on your resale that would limit the number of tickets that could be placed for sale?
I mean, you can adopt limits, and there are examples in which we have done that, and on the rare occasions when we have that. I mean, you could prohibit, you could run a lottery system every time to do the original ticket distribution in a broader sense to reduce pieces. It's good to know that there are ways in which the bots have been drastically reduced through some technology. The Ticketmaster, what I'm saying is that you could actually do a lot of these things under current law, and that steps are being taken. This is another step that could be useful, but
yeah, I'm just thinking that there might be ways to fix this problem without government but there seems to be a financial incentive to sell the tickets twice because the money that your sites make or that Ticketmaster makes is in fact the fees they're charging on every ticket they sell, correct?
Well, and to be fair, Senator, there's also something to be said for open markets that allow for multiple resales. That's not necessarily a bad thing at all. It's quite common that you may buy a ticket, not need it, sell it, and then need to go back into the market.
No, I've had to do
That's-
that. I
right.
completely understand that. But it also reduces the incentive for the businesses that are making money on the same ticket again to want to be part of solving the problem.
That is true. You could separate out that. We would not advocate that. We advocate that tickets are tickets are tickets, that the market would be much healthier with open, free resale in any platform and much broader open resale, and then let the market handle it.
My time is up, and I don't want to take anybody else's time. I hope somebody asks, why are so many of, what are all the holdbacks for in the concert industry? Where are they going?